Hi, I'm Bree Johnson of Heart and Bones Yoga, and I've got a great tutorial for you today. It's all about building strength in your chest, your core, your upper back, using a dynamic variation for Cobra Pose. Now, if you love these videos, make sure that you go and press that subscribe button so that you can get more tips like this into your inbox each week, so you never miss an amazing tip to feel amazing in your body. Now let's get into the tutorial. First thing that we're going to do is just a little bit of awakening of our body, doing some similar movements that we'll do in the pose itself. But first I want us to get those movements imprinted into our mind, imprinted into our body so it's more familiar and we can do the pose even more safely. So all we need to do is sit cross-legged on the floor. If you have a yoga block, sit on that or a cushion or a blanket. And then let your hands move out to the side. And what we're going to do is very slowly slide one arm out to the side, reaching, and then slide the other arm back in. Pretty simple. Go to the other side, slide, slide, slide. I'm just moving my fingers lightly across the floor and then coming back in. I'm going to go again, but a little bit further, and then we'll start to really feel my core kicking on the further away my arm goes. Now, when we come back up, feel like your core, especially the side core, is pulling your arm back in. So your hands are just light on the floor. And then let's go to the other side, reach a little bit further, feel your core start to hold you up, and then invite your core to pull back in, especially that side core, in your arm. One more time, go to the other side, see if you can go a little further. And then use your core, fingertips light on the floor, and then to the other side again, fingertips light on the floor, core pulling in. Good. You can also do that variation using your other arm up into the air as well. But let's continue. Now reach your arms forward and add a gentle bend into your elbows. Sort of like, so your arms are like this, sort of like you're hugging a really big tree. And now externally rotate your arms and reach them up, slowly up toward the ceiling, and then slowly lower them down. Continue now, arms externally rotated, reaching up. As you reach your arms up, try to keep your ribs down. Good. One more time, lowering down, and then inhale, come back up. And then exhale, release. Good. Now take your hands. You can still stay in this cross-legged position. You can move your legs in some other position if that works for you too. But we're just going to do a very slight forward bend where we're sliding the fingers lightly to the floor in front of us, coming back up. I'll show that sideways for us. So I'm just thinking about reaching my arms forward and then coming back up. This is less about a hip mobility and just more about starting to awaken the core so that when your arms are in this reached forward, this extended position, that your chest, your back, and ribs are all working a little bit to hold you and move you. So one more time, see if you can reach your arms a little bit further, and then pulling back in through your chest and core. Now let's bring that into our Cobra Pose. So come on down onto the floor. And I'm going to set us up with a couple different alignment points so that we're making sure that this is really great for our bodies. Now, the first thing that we want to think about when you're in a Cobra Pose is actually using your pelvis like a sense of stability. So what that means is I'm going to feel the front of my pelvis, my pubic symphysis, gently anchored to the floor. And that will prevent my lower back from crunching and tilting upwards. So I'm going to keep that. And then what we can do from here is roll the front of your mat quite a bit. So I'm rolling until my mat meets the front of my ribs. So I'm rolling that yoga mat up so that it meets the bottom of the front ribs. So there's a little bit of a bolstering, a little bit of propping up there. If you don't have a yoga mat, you can also use a blanket rolled up or even a bolster. So you've got a little bit of support. Gently connect your pubic symphysis on the ground. And then you are going to slowly reach the arms forward. And just take a few moments here. Your head can rest to the floor if that feels good. And reach. And then you're going to slowly float your arms back. Can you just get a little bit of a lift and then extend your arms out? And then inhale, pull your ribs up a little bit away from your support. Pull up and then down. We don't care how high we go here. Think about your core and your upper body pulling you up. As light as you can with your fingertips. Good. Now, a couple more times, and next time you're doing this movement, watch if your feet lift up off the floor a bit. So if that's happening, invite the tops of your feet to be gently connected. Nice. And then exhale, relax. You can make a pillow with your palms if you like. Take a few moments. And then we're going to add one more variation. Next variation, extend your arms out again. And then pull your ribs in a little bit. You have that support. You feel that reach so that your upper back or mid back is full and strong and supportive. Your core is awake and alive. And then what we can try now is one arm at a time. So I'm going to bend my right arm and then reach my forehead to the floor, or reach my forehead to my arm, left arm out. So trying to keep your shoulders level. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up. Some of us actually might find this a lot easier than the first variation, so this would be a great place to actually start first if you find it easier. And then switch sides and reach. So now my right arm is out, I'm pulling in, and then out, and pulling in, and then out. Good, so we feel the strength of the back, chest, everything working. Very active and dynamic here. And again, keep your shoulders level, back of the neck long. Let's go one more time. Nice. Extend both arms out. One more time, pulling in. And then if you want to do a little wiggle of the shoulders, sometimes that feels good. If you feel like your lower back is crunching a little bit, remember to continue to root gently the front of your pelvis, pubic symphysis on the floor. Lovely. So that's a beautiful dynamic variation that you can do in Cobra Pose, noticing how much strength that provides us when we get to work on that more active, where we allow the muscles of the core, chest, and back to hold us up. So remember, if you love these tutorials, press subscribe. Also go to heartandbonesyoga.com for more online classes, for signing up for the newsletter so you can always stay connected here for more tips, tutorials, and being a part of our beautiful community. So thank you very much for tuning in. Leave a comment below, and I'd love to hear from you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.